What's up guys, Mike here, and on this channel we've already done 2 videos on Michael Jordan conspiracies. But today we're throwing out the conspiracies and just sticking with straight up crazy stories. So enough of me. Let's just jump into 7 stories that prove Michael Jordan is not a human. Number 7. A man of his word. Dikembe Mutombo is known as one of the best shot blockers of all time. A man who turned a finger wag into a massive insult. And with this reputation came yet another challenge for Jordan. A challenge to dunk on Mutombo. The seeds were planted early, when Jordan dropped 37 on a rookie Mutombo-led Nuggets team, all the while trash-talking young Dikembe. Jordan finished his performance at the free throw line late in the game, pausing to look at Mutombo and say, "This one's for you," before shooting a free throw with his eyes closed. Of course, it went in, and the trash talk didn't stop there. Years later, at the 1997 All-Star game, Mutombo taunted Jordan because he had never dunked on him. Listen as Dikembe laughs about how Mike claims he will get him one day.
He said, "I'll get you one day." He said, "I'll get you one day."
And just a few months later, during the 1997 NBA playoffs,
MJ. Oh, he did it!
enter the finger wag. So yes, Michael Jordan is very much a man of his word. Number 6. Still the best at 43. At one time in his life, OJ Mayo was the top high school recruit in his class and was not afraid to remind opponents of this fact. Unfortunately for Mayo, his trash talk caught up to him, because in Michael Jordan's own camp,
he starts his thing about, you can't guard me, you can't do this. You know, I got my campers here, so obviously I can't really go where I want to go because of my camp.
Michael proceeded to literally shut down the camp for the night, sending his campers to bed, so he could destroy Mayo and talk trash to him as he did it. And that's exactly what happened.
We continued playing pickup, and Mike was Mike.
A then 42 or 43-year-old Mike embarrassed Mayo, raining in shot after shot while telling OJ to go cry to his mama. The night ended with Jordan reminding Mayo,
"You may be the best high school player, but I'm the best player in the world."
Did I mention that he was in his early 40s? Number 5. Is he big enough? As we've already said, Michael Jordan loved to dunk. He saw it as not only a way to score, but a way to embarrass an opponent. So in 1987, when John Stockton gambled on a pass to Jordan and missed, Mike seized the opportunity and threw down a monster dunk. At this point, someone told Jordan to pick on someone his own size. The very next possession, Mike took the ball and saw 7'1" Mel Turpin in his way. And then,
Look out, running! Oh my goodness!
running back up the court, he screamed back, "Is he big enough?" Number 4. A competitive psychopath. Throughout his career, Michael Jordan gained the reputation of a competitive psychopath. Several stories highlight this, such as the time he was beaten in ping pong, bought a table, and practiced so much that he became the best player on the team, or the time he was caught cheating against an old woman in a meaningless game of cards. With this said, Mike's ultra competitiveness was really highlighted in practice, where he treated every scrimmage the same as if it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He also expected his teammates to play with the same intensity and would abuse them if they didn't. For example, Jordan is known for ruining the confidence of Rodney McCray and Kwame Brown, 2 players who let his constant trash talk get into their heads. On the flip side, we have Steve Kerr. Mike once got into it with the newly acquired Kerr during practice, testing him. This dispute ended up with Jordan punching Kerr in the face and giving him a black eye. To his credit though, Kerr stood up for himself and threw some punches back, saying, "It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I needed to stand up and go back at him." I think it earned some respect, but we have a great relationship ever since. You gotta prove it, and then once you prove it, you're fine. And later on, in a key moment, Jordan would pass the ball to Kerr, a man he respected, and Kerr knocked down a game-winning shot in the finals. The point being that Jordan was always testing people, and you needed to fight back to earn his respect. Number 3. Ruining a man's career with words. A few years ago, an email went around from a man claiming to have had dinner with Johnny Bach, a one-time assistant coach of the Bulls and Hornets among other teams. The email was full of stories about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, older Bulls teams, and the NBA in general. And while all of these stories were interesting, one stood out, because the writer of the email claimed this: when Johnny was coaching the Hornets in 1995, they had a good team. Glenn Rice, Mourning, Johnson. Series was tied at 2 and Hornets had a chance to win Game 5 in Chicago. On the biggest possession of the game, Muggsy had the ball with the Hornets down 1. Jordan backed off of him and told him, "Shoot it, you effing midget." Muggsy shot it, didn't come close. A year later, Muggsy actually told Johnny Bach that he believes that single play ruined his career. His shot never recovered. Now, some people have proven this story not to be true because there was no Game 5 in the Bulls-Hornets series that year. However, Johnny Bach was around 90 when he told this story, so he easily could have meant Game 4, the deciding game in the series. In this game, Muggsy Bogues shot 2 for 12 and the following things happened. At the beginning of the fourth, Muggsy and Jordan collide, and when Jordan comes up, he appears to say a few words. From here, Muggsy proceeds to do no right, as he goes on to get tied up into a jump ball, then a few minutes later he misses a shot badly. And then comes his final shot, with the score tied with around 4 minutes left. If the story is true, on this shot, Jordan calls Muggsy a midget and causes him to miss. Now, Muggsy did miss this shot badly. The Bulls did win the game and close the series, and Muggsy did have a noticeable drop-off in production after this game, which could be attributed to him just getting older. But if Jordan caused this with just some choice words in a key moment, then that means that Michael Jordan literally ruined a man's career with trash talk. Number 2. The Shrug. We all know the Shrug, one of Jordan's iconic moments that has been replicated way too many times. What we forget though is how this moment was set up. Leading into the 1992 NBA Finals, the media narrative was that Jordan vs. Drexler was a battle of the league's top 2 shooting guards. Some ambitious reporters even claimed that Drexler was at the same talent level as Jordan or better. When asked about Clyde before the finals, specifically about how Drexler was a better shooter than Jordan from 3, Mike responded, "Drexler is a better 3-point shooter than I choose to be," meaning Jordan chose to attack the rim, not settle for 3s. If there were any doubts, however, that he could also shoot the basketball, they were surely answered in Game 1. Jordan reminded people of the fact that he was not only the best player in the world, he is the best player of all time, scoring 35 points in the first half, a total that included 6 3-pointers. After his 6th 3, Jordan famously shrugged, as if to say, "What did I tell you?" And number 1. 69 points is too easy? For most players, scoring 69 points in a professional basketball game is nothing more than a dream. For Jordan, this type of scoring outburst always seemed possible, and when it came, it even seemed easy. On March 28, 1990, Michael Jordan prepared for his game against the Cavaliers with supreme confidence, as he had already averaged over 44 points per game in their first 3 matchups. And when the game began, Jordan was everywhere, scoring so effortlessly that he almost seemed bored. And maybe he was, because mid-game he began to tell the guy guarding him, Craig Elo, exactly how he was going to score. As Elo later put it, Mike said, "Listen man, I'm hitting everything, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do this time and see if you can stop it. I'm gonna catch it on the left elbow, and then I'm gonna drive to the left to the baseline, and then I'm gonna pull up and shoot my fadeaway." And sure enough, that's exactly what he did, adding another 2 points to his career high of 69. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you also realize that Michael Jordan, he doesn't even seem like he's in the same species as us. The way his mind had to work to make him the greatest of all time, I can't even comprehend being that competitive. And to all of my subscribers, in the words of Kevin Durant, you the real MVP. And to everyone who hasn't already subscribed, also in the words of Kevin Durant, please subscribe to Mikekorzemba's YouTube channel. He makes some great NBA content. And as always, guys, have an awesome day and cue the music.